one of the things that came out of this race, I'm getting frustrated, and I am not a Vettel fan or a Ferrari fan, in any way, but I want to say this very carefully. I'm starting to really sympathize with Sebastian Vettel, who has a car that's not set up the way that he likes it. However, you cannot spin in the first lap by your own mistake. Yhancy, I know you want to say something here. What did you think of that whole during the race and post race with Ferrari and Vettel?
I have a hard time sympathizing with somebody who is a 4-time world champion, who's been in this sport for X number of years, a very long time. He's a veteran. He's one of the oldest drivers on the grid. And for you to be blaming a team for everything bad that has happened to you when you have clearly, it's on video, he has clearly made mistakes. Granted, we know, and this is why the chairman of Ferrari came out and said we're not going to be winning any races till 2022. That is a bold statement coming from anybody at Ferrari.
From any team, not anybody at Ferrari, from any team.
So you already know, and he as a driver already knows what he's in store for. Obviously, the car is not good. For you to speculate that the team, because basically that's what he's doing. He's speculating that the team is almost sabotaging what he's doing on the racetrack. I think it's a bit too far. Have they helped them? No. I'm not going to defend Ferrari in any of the strategy calls or even that even the strategy calls this race. But you do not help yourself when you spin lap 1 because now you're starting on the back foot. And now what you're asking for is the strategy to change on your part because now you have another car that is running ahead of you and they have to focus on him.
I think his problem started in qualifying. He should have qualified on a better position.
Started there in practice, man.
Yeah.
He's been doing that all weekend. Frankly, all season. I think the only highlight was maybe Hungary.
Yeah. So, as I said, I have a lot of sympathy for Vettel because of this.
Jump the start.
Oh, no.
He jumped he's promoting us.
He jumped the start.
I mean, granted, we have to also give him credit for just being a spin. Because when you look at the replay of what actually happened to him in the situation that he got in, he could have destroyed Sainz. And he was able to pull it off, and that's when he actually spun out. Because he was weaving, but he was headed right at Sainz.
I think he already lost control of that.
He had already lost control. I just think that at this point it's sour grapes. And you can tell
they can make wine.
He can't. Yeah. He can't. You can tell he's not in it. And granted, Ferrari maybe didn't handle this the right way as far as telling him that he's not coming back next year. But yeah, you got to be a professional, and you are an elder statesman. He's one of the drivers that represent that is part of the hierarchy of the Grand Prix Drivers Association. You need to, if you're not going to drive well, don't start blaming other people.
So the only thing that I'm going to say that I sympathize with him in that he was put on, he was on his original stint, which was hards coming into the race. They brought him into the pits at lap 22, put him on another set of hards. They took him off of those hards. On lap 33, he still had 19 laps on the mediums that were actually old mediums. So I don't know. I feel like they really kind of did not help him with that strategy, and that was part of the reason that he was upset.
Yeah, but it's also part of I haven't sat down and analyzed why they would do that. It seems like an odd call. But remember that you have 2 cars on the track. So if at any point he affects the drive that Leclerc is having where he's running, close to a podium spot. You don't want to mess with that either, especially if they can come together and you know and we know what happens if they come together.
They take each other out.
Yeah, and you don't want. You at least want one car to finish in the points in P4.
It's a tough place to be at.
Speaking of P4, Charles Leclerc actually with I don't know what his deal is on Saturdays versus Sundays, but he kind of puts it together. He started 8th on the grid, ends up 4th, just outside the podium position. He just kind of puts it together. His second consecutive 4th, same track, but he is doing well in that regard.
World Championship material.
I don't know.
On the way to be best of the rest.
Okay, World Championship material right there.
Exactly.
Why can't he qualify higher? The car sucks. The car's horrible. It's a truck.
I don't get this because we say that it's okay for Vettel, but it's not okay for
Leclerc. But one thing is if you don't have the speed to qualify high, at least have a good race.
Dude, you're allowed to make a mistake.
A mistake? You're talking about Vettel? One mistake?
During this weekend, yeah, a mistake.
A mistake?
Yes.
He can't even. He qualified like in 13th.
Listen. See, you hear how Yhancy speaks regarding Vettel? That's how a Ferrari fan speaks about the drivers. Vettel's time is up. And
no, I'm not gonna say that.
Meaning up at Ferrari.
Yes, okay.
I'm not talking about just at Ferrari in this case.
Where did Vettel qualify?
He was on 11th at the starting grid.
11th. He was 11th. How far off? What was the pace? How far was it?
I don't have that information in front of me.
It was a few tenths, probably.
It was 4 tenths.
4 tenths. That's a long time. That's a very long time. And for you to blame it on traffic because you're in traffic, dude, you made that own traffic yourself. You spun out. Spun out. Sorry. You're correcting me. My God.
Look, he didn't spin out. He didn't spill out during qualifying though. He spun out.
I get it, but he's just not comfortable in that car, and we get that. But you have, you can't. If you know that you're not qualifying high up, just do not complain when you make that mistake in the race, because at least in the race, it's been proven that by your very own teammate that you can get that car up a little bit higher.
I think Vettel should just be comfortable saying, okay, I know I'm on my way out. I'm out.
Here's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you a little nugget. Charles Leclerc pitted lap 18, went on to do a one stop off of the hards. Sebastian Vettel was pitted lap 22, then lap 33 to go on to old mediums. Why? That doesn't make any sense. You think that a 4-time champion, a veteran, the mayor of F1 could not finish from lap 22 if Leclerc could finish from lap 18?
Who's been finishing higher?
Okay, so we're going to go back and determine from ancient history what's supposed to happen. So in theory, you're Vettel's going to be the champion this year because he won 4 previously.
So what you're saying is that Ferrari is screwing over Vettel.
What I'm saying is that their strategy during that race for Vettel just did not make any sense to me as an outsider looking in.
Okay.
If in that same car, Leclerc could do, 34 laps on the hards to get to the end on one stop, I would have to assume that Vettel could do 30. It's less laps. I don't know.
It's not Vettel's car anymore. It's tailored differently. It's not tailored for Vettel's driving style. I don't know why.
That's exactly, you hit it on the head. I don't think that he would have, because it's not suited to his driving style.
But we have to give a lot of credit to Leclerc. He did 18 laps on mediums. I don't think nobody else did that. That's
incredible. That was an incredible drive. And
because he did not finish in the podium, he's not going to get that much credit for it.
Yeah, but
no. He's a Ferrari driver. He's going to get credit for it.
In the Ferrari world, but listen, not as a whole.
It's 4th place, and
these guys are happy with a 4th place. The Ferrari.
Yeah, exactly. We're literally happy with the 4th place. It's 4th place, and he's been on the podium twice already this season.
So to that end, he is actually 4th in the Constructors' Championship. He has surpassed Lando Norris. He's up 45-38. Below Lando Norris is Alex Albon at 36, and below him is Lance Stroll at 28.
Hey guys, this is Wellington, 1/3 of the Jump to Start Racing podcast crew. I want to remind you to destroy that like button for the YouTube algorithm and to hit subscribe so you can stay up to date with our latest content. I also want to let you know that we're active on both Twitter and Instagram. For both platforms, the handle is at JumpTheStartF1. And of course, you can find us on your favorite podcast platform, Jump to Start Racing Podcast. Thanks for tuning in.